Soweto. And in fact, a few moments ago, the coroner removed Mr. Patrick Shai's body from the home. And until then, the street behind me here had been cordoned off just outside his home with police tape to indicate that there was a police investigation into a death. Perhaps an inquest docket is being investigated at the moment as the coroner will then determine the cause of death. So at this stage, really nothing coming forth as to the exact circumstances behind the late great South African actor's passing. However, I did manage to get audience with the family spokesperson, and the family, as you had mentioned earlier, asking to be given space. They are still reeling in shock, and of course the late Patrick Shai's wife and 2 children dealing with the news and the reality of his demise. And so the family had asked that they be given the space to deal with this. But during the day, we have seen some industry insiders, industry members of the performance industry coming in and out of his property. And if I can just step out of shot right now, we see that we still have members of the family and members of the community here in Dobsonville coming out. Of course, many expressing shock and disbelief as they have been parking outside the family home here. Many just bringing messages of condolence and saying that they can't believe that he is gone. And of course, many are saying that they do wish he would be remembered for his legacy in the industry, not just the controversies. We know that Mr. Shai was also something of an activist here in Dobsonville. He was very infamously shot by police during protests here in Soweto over, the cutting off of services. He was at the forefront of those particular protests, and he also, I believe, sued the South African police services for excessive use of force, saying that he was just merely joining what would be a peaceful protest, as protesters were saying that it is unfair for them to have been cut off for so long during that protest. So he was certainly someone who was very active in the community, and even here, as I tell you now, the neighbors and community members have been coming in and out to send their condolences, and the vehicles behind me bear testament to just how vested he was in his community. Of course, that's not the only controversy. Very recently, Mr. Patrick Shai was involved in something of a spat with rapper Casper Nyovest, something that led him to be criticized because of the tone and the language that was used in that interaction. The rapper himself expressing quite disappointment because he expressed an admiration for Mr. Patrick Shai and saying that that engagement was unfortunate. Of course, Mr. Shai then responded by publicly apologizing, saying that it was unfortunate. He had not intended to insult the rapper's relatives, particularly his mom, and saying that he was caught up in the moment and did not intend for that to be the outcome of that particular interaction. Now, the background to that interaction is that Mr. Shai, in his own words, was trying to promote what he had called for, which would be a boxing match with Casper Nyovest, the rapper. We know that the rapper is an avid enthusiast of training, including boxing. And so Mr. Shai, it seems, was trying, in his own words, to create hype around that particular challenge, and it went horribly wrong. Something that he rued up until his last day, and he posted that into social media as well. So certainly a man that won't be remembered only for that controversy, because if you look at his discography or videography in terms of the roles he's played, he's certainly an acclaimed actor.